Most people don't stay poor because they earn too little. They stay poor because they keep buying the wrong things, again and again. If you want to get rich, you don't need a new trick. You need fewer bad habits. And today, we're going to talk about 5 things that quietly steal your future while smiling at you in the present. Money has a funny way of revealing who we are. Not all at once, but slowly. It shows up in small decisions, in the things we buy without thinking, in the habits we repeat because everyone else is doing it. Most people believe getting rich means doing something extraordinary. In reality, it's often about stopping a few ordinary mistakes. Wealth isn't built by brilliance alone. It's built by patience, by restraint, by learning when to say no, especially to things that feel good today but cost you tomorrow. Let's talk about that. If you want to get rich, the first step isn't buying more, it's buying less of the wrong things. The first thing to stop buying is status you can't afford, cars that stretch your income, clothes that impress strangers, homes that leave you anxious instead of secure. Looking rich is expensive. Becoming rich is quiet. One feeds the ego, the other feeds your future. The second thing to stop buying is convenience at any cost. Daily takeout, unused subscriptions, paying extra just to avoid minor discomfort. Convenience feels small in the moment, but compounded over years, it becomes a very large bill. Successful people aren't allergic to effort. They simply choose where convenience is worth paying for and where it isn't. The third thing to stop buying is things you don't understand, especially when it comes to money. If you can't explain why something should grow in value, you're not investing, you're hoping. Hope is not a strategy. Understanding is the best decisions are simple enough to explain and solid enough to wait on. The fourth thing to stop buying is short-term pleasure with long-term regret. Impulse purchases, trends that fade, upgrades you didn't need. Every dollar has a choice. It can serve you once, or it can serve you for years. Wealth grows when you consistently choose the second option. And the fifth thing to stop buying is other people's opinions. Buying what's popular, following what's loud, chasing what's exciting this week. The crowd feels safe, but the crowd rarely builds wealth. Independent thinking isn't comfortable, but comfort has never been the price of success. Here's the quiet truth. Getting rich doesn't require genius. It requires discipline, the ability to delay gratification, and the courage to act differently. Over time, small, smart decisions become unstoppable, and small, foolish ones become expensive lessons. Spend less than you earn. Invest in what lasts. Avoid what drains you, and give time a chance to work. That's not flashy advice, but it's how fortunes are built. Slowly, silently, and surely. Most people believe wealth is built by finding the next big opportunity, a winning investment, a fast-growing business, a clever shortcut. But in reality, wealth rarely disappears because of one bad decision. It fades away quietly, through small leaks, tiny habits that don't feel dangerous, until years have passed. Think of your finances like a bucket. You can pour water in faster, but if there are holes at the bottom, the bucket will never fill, no matter how hard you try. That is how many people live. They work harder, they earn more, they chase returns, yet somehow they never feel secure. The problem isn't income, it's leakage. Money leaks through unnoticed subscriptions, through lifestyle upgrades that quietly become permanent, through convenience purchases justified as small rewards. Individually, they seem harmless. Together, they drain your future. The truth is uncomfortable, but simple. You don't need extraordinary returns to build wealth. You need ordinary discipline practiced consistently. Chasing quick gains feels exciting. It gives the illusion of progress, but excitement is rarely a reliable financial guide. Fast gains often demand fast decisions. Fast decisions invite emotion, and emotion is expensive. When people chase returns, they tend to ignore risk. They focus on what could go right and underestimate what could go wrong. Losses hurt more than gains help. If you lose 50%, you need 100% just to get back to where you started. That math never changes. Avoiding mistakes doesn't make headlines, but it quietly compounds. The wealthy understand this deeply. They don't aim to be brilliant. They aim to avoid being foolish. They don't ask, how can I double my money quickly? They ask, how can I protect what I already have? Protection comes before growth, stability before speed. This mindset alone separates long-term winners from short-term gamblers. Money leaks are rarely dramatic. They hide inside routines. You get used to them. You stop questioning them. A bigger house becomes normal. A luxury car becomes expected. Higher monthly bills become the new baseline. The danger isn't the purchase, it's the permanence. Every fixed expense reduces flexibility. Every obligation limits future choices. And freedom, not income, is the true measure of wealth. People chasing quick gains often ignore this. They optimize for return, not resilience. But wealth isn't built in good years alone. It's preserved in bad ones. When markets fall, businesses slow, or income dips, those without leaks survive calmly. Those with fragile finances panic. The goal isn't to predict the future, it's to be prepared for it. Plugging leaks does something powerful. It creates margin. Margin in your finances gives you patience. Patience gives you better decisions. Better decisions compound into wealth. When your expenses are controlled, you don't need perfect timing. You don't need luck. You can wait. Waiting is an advantage. Few people recognize it allows opportunities to come to you rather than forcing you to chase them. Quick gains demand urgency. Urgency clouds judgment. Slow, steady progress allows clarity. There's another reason stopping leaks works faster than chasing gains. It's within your control. Markets are unpredictable. Returns fluctuate. Opportunities come and go. But spending habits? Those are choices you make every day. Reducing waste delivers a guaranteed return. Cutting an unnecessary expense is a 100% risk-free gain. There's no market volatility in discipline, no downside to simplicity. Every dollar you don't waste becomes a worker for your future. It can earn, it can compound, or it can simply give you peace of mind. Peace of mind has value most people underestimate. Chasing quick gains often comes with stress, constant checking, constant reacting, constant fear of missing out. Wealth built through control feels different. It's quiet, stable, boring, even, but boring works. The greatest financial victories rarely come from dramatic moves. They come from consistency, spending slightly less than you earn, avoiding unnecessary debt, investing in things you understand, repeating this year after year. Small leaks ignored for decades become disasters. Small leaks fixed early become advantages. This is why raising income alone doesn't solve financial problems. Without discipline, higher income simply increases the size of the leaks. True wealth comes from alignment, when earning, spending, and long-term goals move in the same direction. Chasing quick gains pulls your attention outward. Stopping leaks forces you to look inward. It asks better questions. Do I need this? Will this matter in 5 years? Is this helping me or distracting me? These questions are uncomfortable, but they're profitable. The path to wealth isn't paved with clever tricks. It's paved with restraint, not restraint born from fear, but from clarity. When you understand that money is a tool, not a trophy, your behavior changes. You stop proving, you start building, and building wealth is not a sprint. It's a long, patient walk, with fewer mistakes, fewer leaks, and fewer regrets. Stop the leaks first, then let time do the heavy lifting. That's how wealth really grows. Most people think their financial future is shaped by big decisions. The job they choose, the investment they make, the business they start. But in truth, wealth is built or quietly destroyed by decisions so small they barely feel like decisions at all. It's shaped by the things you don't buy, purchases you walk away from, the temptations you resist when no one is watching. Every day presents you with opportunities to spend. Advertisements encourage it. Social pressure normalizes it. Convenience justifies it. And slowly, spending becomes automatic. What's rarely discussed is the power of refusal, the strength it takes to say, "Not now," or "I don't need that," or "This can wait." Those words don't feel exciting. They don't make for good stories. But over time, they build extraordinary outcomes. Most purchases are not neutral. They don't simply take money from your account. They take options from your future. When you buy something, you're not just spending cash. You're committing future income to support it. Maintenance, insurance, upgrades, attention. The cost continues long after the thrill is gone. This is why what you don't buy matters more than what you do. Avoiding a bad purchase protects you from years of invisible costs. The wealthy understand this intuitively. They are not impressed by consumption. They are impressed by flexibility. Flexibility allows patience. Patience allows selectivity. Selectivity leads to better outcomes. The average person asks, "Can I afford this?" The disciplined person asks, "What will this prevent me from doing later?" That question changes everything. A bigger car payment may limit your ability to invest. A larger home may reduce your freedom to change careers. A lifestyle upgrade may quietly lock you into working longer than you planned. None of these feel dangerous at the moment of purchase. That's why they were so effective at stealing the future. What you don't buy protects your margin. Margin is the space between what you earn and what you spend. It's where opportunity lives. It's where resilience is built. Without margin, even high earners feel trapped. With margin, even modest incomes can grow easily. Most people focus on increasing income. Few focus on preserving margin. Yet margin is what allows you to wait. And waiting is one of the most underrated financial advantages. When you're not desperate for returns, you can choose wisely. You can pass on bad deals. You can invest when others are fearful. You can say no without anxiety. This freedom comes not from brilliance, but from restraint. The hardest purchases to avoid are the ones that look small, daily conveniences, frequent upgrades, just this once. Expenses that quietly become habits. Individually, they feel harmless. Collectively, they reshape your life. Time reveals the truth. Money spent on fleeting pleasure rarely leaves a lasting memory. Money saved and invested quietly reshapes your future. There is a deep difference between cost and value. Cost is what you pay today. Value is what remains tomorrow. Many things are cheap but not valuable. Many valuable things require patience, not spending, learning a skill, building a reputation, maintaining good health, cultivating relationships. These often demand time and discipline rather than money. Consumer culture teaches the opposite. It tells you that satisfaction is one purchase away, that upgrading is progress, that newer is better. But progress isn't measured by what you own. It's measured by how much control you have over your time. Every unnecessary purchase trades future time for present pleasure. Sometimes the trade is fair, often it's not. The ability to delay gratification is not about deprivation. It's about prioritization. You are not saying no forever. You are saying yes to something better later. This mindset transforms how money is used. Spending becomes intentional, not reactive. Purchases are chosen, not defaulted to. What you don't buy also protects your attention. Every possession demands care. Every commitment takes energy. A simpler life leaves room for focus, and focus compounds just like money. The most successful people are not surrounded by clutter. They are surrounded by clarity. Clarity allows long-term thinking. Long-term thinking produces better results. Avoiding bad purchases doesn't require sacrifice. It requires awareness. Awareness of what truly matters. Awareness of how small decisions stack up. Awareness that wealth is built quietly. Over time, it's not about never spending. It's about spending on what endures. The things you don't buy today rarely announce their importance. They don't send thank you notes. They don't provide instant feedback. But years later, they show up as options, as peace of mind, as independence. By the time others wonder how you managed to get ahead, you'll know the answer. You didn't chase everything. You didn't buy everything. You chose carefully. And in that choosing, you built something far more valuable than possessions. You built freedom. Most people don't fail financially because they make terrible decisions. They fail because they make comfortable ones. Comfort feels safe. It feels reasonable. It feels justified in the moment. But comfort has a hidden cost. It trades long-term strength for short-term relief. Those who build lasting wealth learn this lesson early. They understand that the best financial decisions often feel awkward, slow, and even boring at first. Long-term thinking is not natural. The human brain is wired for immediacy. We want results now. We want certainty now. We want rewards. We can see and feel. Long-term thinkers learn to resist that impulse, not because they lack desire, but because they understand consequence. They ask different questions, not how does this feel today, but how will this affect me in 10 years? That question changes everything. Long-term thinking often means choosing discipline over pleasure, saving instead of spending, investing instead of showing off, waiting instead of reacting. These choices rarely feel good in the moment. They often feel like you're missing out, like you're falling behind. But that feeling is misleading. When you think long-term, you accept temporary discomfort in exchange for permanent advantage. One of the most uncomfortable things is patience, waiting while others rush ahead, holding steady while trends come and go, sticking to a plan when excitement pulls elsewhere. Patience doesn't look impressive. It doesn't generate applause, but it quietly multiplies outcomes. Short-term thinking focuses on outcomes. Long-term thinking focuses on process. The process doesn't change when markets fall. It doesn't panic during downturns. It doesn't celebrate excessively during booms. It simply continues. Long-term thinkers understand that progress is uneven. There will be years where nothing seems to work, and then years where everything compounds at once. Most people quit during the quiet years. Another uncomfortable truth is that long-term thinking often means being misunderstood. When you don't upgrade your lifestyle with every raise, people notice. When you avoid debt others see as normal, people question it. When you invest conservatively while others chase excitement, people doubt you. Approval is immediate. Wealth is delayed. You can rarely have both at the same time. Long-term thinkers accept that trade-off. They don't need to prove success through spending. They let results speak later. This mindset applies beyond money. They build skills before they demand rewards. They choose reputation over attention. They focus on durability, not speed. In a world obsessed with quick wins, durability is rare and valuable long-term. Thinking also means preparing for downside. Not hoping things go well, but planning in case they don't. Emergency savings feel unnecessary until they're essential. Insurance feels wasteful until it isn't. Diversification feels boring until concentration fails. Protection is not pessimism, it's wisdom. Comfort encourages optimism without preparation. Long-term thinking demands readiness. Another uncomfortable aspect is delayed gratification. Spending now feels certain, saving feels abstract, investing feels distant. But the future eventually arrives. Long-term thinkers make decisions today for a version of themselves they haven't met yet, but deeply respect. They treat their future self like someone they care about. Short-term thinkers borrow happiness from tomorrow. Long-term thinkers invest in it. Time rewards consistency more than intensity. Small actions repeated over decades outperform dramatic moves made sporadically. This is difficult to accept because it lacks drama. It requires faith in compounding. Compounding is slow at first, almost invisible. That's why most people underestimate it, but once it accelerates, it becomes unstoppable. The discomfort of thinking long-term is greatest at the beginning. Before results show, before habits feel natural, before confidence sets in, this is where most people turn back. Those who don't gain something rare, momentum reduces effort, discipline becomes habit, patience becomes identity. Eventually, long-term thinking feels less uncomfortable, it feels normal, and short-term behavior starts to feel reckless. Another reason long-term thinking is powerful is that it reduces stress. When your goals are distant, daily noise matters less. Market swings feel smaller. Setbacks feel temporary. You stop reacting. You start responding. This calmness is not passive. It's strategic. Long-term thinkers do. Ignore reality. They contextualize it. They understand that success is not linear, that setbacks are part of progress, that volatility is the price of growth. They don't confuse movement with progress. Comfort seeks reassurance. Long-term thinking seeks results. Ultimately, wealth is not just money. It's control over time, over choices, over direction. That control is earned slowly. It's built by making uncomfortable decisions when they matter most, when no one is watching, when results aren't visible, when quitting would feel easier. In the end, the reward for long-term thinking is not just financial security, it's freedom from urgency, freedom from panic, freedom from chasing, and that freedom makes every early discomfort worth it.